Hi everyone, welcome and happy and productive new year. This is our first webinar in 2018 and we're going to talk about setting and most importantly, keeping your yearly goals. So if you don't know how to set SMART goals or if you've already forgotten what your new year resolutions were, this webinar is definitely for you. My name is Natalia and I will be the panelist of today's webinar. And just like our previous webinars, this one will take about an hour and a half, and it will be divided into two parts. The first part will be Michael's presentation, which will take about an hour. And the second part will be a standard Q&A session where Michael and I will be answering the questions sent over from you during the webinar. You can submit your questions in the Q&A box that you can see at the top of your screens. And next to the Q&A box, there's also the chat box where you can chat or ask questions to other attendees as well as the panelists of the webinar. Okay, so firstly, let's hear from you guys and let's check if everything is working properly. So if you could just head to the chat window for me and tell us where you're joining us from today and if you have any goals or any New Year's resolutions planned yet. So let's just wait a second for everyone to join in. And here we have people from Nebraska, USA, Michigan, USA, Boston, San Francisco, Indianapolis, USA, UK, Spain, USA, UK again, Poland, Canada, Russia, India, Louisiana, Russia, USA, Alabama, Panama, Netherlands, Costa Rica, welcome, Valencia, Spain, Salt Lake City, South Carolina, Czech Republic, Minnesota, Los Angeles, Silicon Valley, Denmark, Niagara Falls, Toronto, Virginia, Africa, Florida. All right, so it seems that everything is working and there are people from all over the world, which is great. It's awesome. And I could see that some of you posted your New Year's resolutions, but it just keeps going too fast in the chat. So I'm sorry, I just couldn't keep up. But let me just welcome you again. We really appreciate you being here with us today, and I'm sure that you'll find it really inspiring and that the webinar will help you set your goals for 2018 and help you be more productive and even more effective. So we're going to see Michael in just a second, so let me just remind you that you can enter your questions during the webinar in the Q&A box at the top of your screen. And please remember to use the Q&A box so that I can ask your question after the webinar in the Q&A session. All right, guys, so without further ado, let's officially begin and let's meet Michael. Hi, Michael.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. I can't wait to share this, and I'm happy that so many people joined. So it's really cool. It's really amazing. More than 200 people are right now online already, so it's fantastic. I already sense the energy, for getting really stuff done in this year. So like this is what it's all about.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm just going to switch off my camera, and it's over to you now. So. Good luck with the presentation, and we can't wait to hear all of the advice and all the tips and tricks that you have to share. So good luck and see you at the Q&A session.
Thanks so much. See you at the Q&A, and welcome everyone again. I'm so happy that you're here, and let's dive in and just make 2018 our best year ever. Okay, so my name is Michael Sliwinski. I'm the founder and CEO of Nozbe. Luckily, I'm not alone there, although it looks from this photo like that. I have a big team, like a slightly bigger team, and we are 25 in Nozbe, and we have more than 12 people who work with us. And the cool thing about our company is that we all work remotely. This is my home office, and everybody works from homes. And this is my whiteboard. And as you can see, my planning for this year, my New Year's resolutions, my New Year's goals and habits are already outlined here. I'm still brainstorming some ideas. And this was this chicken and egg problem that I was preparing myself for this webinar. I had some new ideas, and then I had to implement them first in my team, and then I had to get back to, to refine them for the webinar. So if you were at last year's webinar, let us know in the comments that you were there. And but don't worry, this is completely new content. There are a few slides similar, but the rest is completely new because a lot has changed in last year, and we have learned a lot. And I want to share this all with you, and I want to make sure that we've learned our lessons from 2017, and we'll make 2018 even a better year. So just back to the photo. My team and I, we meet twice a year on weekly, week-long reunions. So next time we're going to meet and be able to take a photo like this in April. And to commemorate this, that I have a picture of my team here in red. We always have a new T-shirt for each reunion, and so I have my reunion T-shirt as well in red, and in red because also this year is going to be hot. Let's see. All right, so Nozbe will turn 11 in just a month. So on the 1st of February, we will be 11 years old or young. So incredible feat for a technology company to be 11 years. We started 2007 when iPhone launched. So it's funny how everything goes like that. And we are still kicking. We love the business. We love our customers. We have around 500,000 users from all over the world. And we love making these webinars also for you to help you get stuff done this year and to help you achieve more and help you be more, because our software, Nozbe, it's all about this. It's all about your project and task management. It's all about you getting stuff done. It's about you becoming a better versions of yourselves. So we have apps for Mac, for Windows, for Android, for iPhone, iPad, for the Apple Watch as well, and also for a web application. So we've got all the apps to make sure that you can get stuff done on any device. No excuses. But apart from building an app and being a software company, what we really love is also share knowledge. This is why we are doing these webinars. This is why we're also recording the podcast. It's a podcast that I do with my co-host and a colleague from work, Radek. He's our iOS and Mac developer, and also one of our project designers. And our podcast is like a chat about recent productivity tips and tricks, our books that we read, and it's been featured recently by Apple. So hopefully people will listen to it. If you don't listen to it, just go to podcast.fm and check it out. Also, I'm right now finishing my book, 10 Steps to Ultimate Productivity. I've already written it in Polish, my mother tongue. It's here, and very similar size will be in English. And the best part is that I'm finishing it up right now with a great book launch team. I hope some of you from the launch team are here on this webinar. If you are here, let us know also in the chat that you're here. So the cool thing is that we've rewritten the book in English. We made sure that we got new examples. But the idea is the same. It's 10 steps to ultimate productivity, 10 simple steps to get stuff done. And we will see in this webinar, my idea is to share knowledge as simply as possible, to make it as simple as possible, as easy to digest as possible, and as simple to implement as possible. Because the simplest things work, and this is what it's all about. But sometimes to make the simplest things work, we need some tips and tricks, and this is why we have this webinar, and this is why we will have this book. The book will be launched later this year, so watch out and make sure to follow us to know when it's launched. We love doing that. We love helping people get stuff done. And here, one of our users just recommended Nozbe. I've been testing apps for a long time and settled with this one about a year ago. You can have a free month so you can test it in the detail. Nozbe team also offers a great support and many tips. Good luck. So great recommendation. And that's why we decided to launch an offer right now, a very short time limited offer. So grab it when you can. If you don't have a Nozbe for a year, you can get it now and get 3 months additionally on top of that. So go to nozbe.com/now. We have that offer. It's just for now, just to help you get stuff done this year. And if you have already a Nozbe account, you are a Nozbe user, listen up, because now the webinar is getting started. Before I start to talk about goals and New Year's resolutions, make sure to have your questions ready, because again, this webinar is different than the last year's because I have more information, more stuff. So make sure to write down your questions, go to Q&A segment. I'll be happy to respond to them. Okay. As a spoiler, I can already read you a tweet that I posted earlier today, which is more or less a summary of this webinar. Plan ambitious goals for 2018, but focus on habits that will take you there. Habits bring you closer to your goals every day. #Nozbe 2018. All right. If you want to get involved and share your New Year's resolutions, because Natalia just told you that there were so many in the chat that she couldn't keep up, make sure to find this post on our Nozbe wall on Facebook and share your aspirations. How would your life look like if 2018 went exactly as you hoped? And if you can answer that question and share it, the best answers, we'll find 2 best answers at the end of this webinar, and we'll give you an additional month of Nozbe on top of what you have. So make sure to share, and I'll be happy to read them to everyone else, to inspire everyone else. Okay, let's dive right into New Year's resolutions. Yes, thank you.
Just a reminder, yeah.
Just a reminder, yes. Let's get back for now. So there is this post, but there is more on Facebook. Thank you, Natalia. I'm like old habits die hard. I would have just gone with the presentations because I was rehearsing that, but we had this idea while I was rehearsing for the presentation. We wanted for quite a while now to launch a Facebook group for Nozbe users and for people who want to, get their stuff done in 2018. So not only Nozbe users, but people just who want to help each other and want our help to get them, help them get stuff done. And we are launching this group right now, this Facebook group. We will post this in chat too, so you can join the group right now. And we thought, what's the best time to launch a Facebook group when, if not, in the beginning of the year, right now on our webinar in 2018 resolutions. So, new Facebook group, link in the comments to this webinar, and we will also post this link. We will send you an email with more information about it. But make sure to join the Facebook group as soon as possible, and we'll be happy to have you here to have you there, and I'll be happy to join and also help you out. All right, so Facebook is done. We have the Facebook post where you can share your 2018 aspirations, and you have the Facebook group where you can join, which is completely new. We haven't had that before, so it's something exciting for us. But now let's focus on you and your New Year's resolutions and your plan, how to become a better version of yourself. And I'm saying that for a reason. So now there is this question: resolutions, goals, or habits? What to focus on in the beginning of the year? Where to start? How to improve? How to become better? And how I see it is this: I think that in 2018, you will be a better version of yourself, a version number 2018. So this is your new version. This is a chance for you to be your new version. I know this is just a change of date. There is new year, whatever. Some people don't care about it. I do. I think every year gives us this new blank page, new slate, but to improve upon what we already have. So to become a better version of ourselves, just like we ship a better version of Nozbe each time. And the version 3.7 is coming in a few weeks. And this is the same. That's why we put versions on it, because it's a better version, it's a newer version. And the same here. 2018, you will be a better version of yourself in 2018. So that's the clue for me. And that's why I want to give you some quick tips and tricks already how to achieve already something quickly. Before, like, there's going to be lots of content here on this, lots of very useful advice here on this webinar. But I want to give you something right now that if you implement just that, you already be better off for 2018. You already become a better version of yourself. So I have 3 pieces of quick advice for you. I mean, 2 are very quick. The third is a bit longer. So first up, morning routine. Yes, morning routine. This has been a key for me last year. I've been struggling to build a morning routine, to build up a morning routine every day. I've heard from many gurus, productivity experts, and just successful business people that a good morning routine sets you up for success. Why? Because if you start morning your way, then it just feels like the day is happening your way, that you are in control. And of course, we're never 100% in control, but you feel like you are in control. So with these quick wins, with a good morning routine, you just set yourself up that you start the day, consciously. You start the day the way it should start. And that's why, for me, the key last year was to set up my morning routine, to really nail it down. And I did. And I did with a simple trick. What I did was I have this project in Nozbe, Get Goals Done, like an additional project. And over there, I put a morning routine task. And over there, I just set this morning routine task as a recurring task. It happens every day. And as a comment to this task, I added a checklist of things that have to happen in the morning. So my morning routine basically looks like this. I wake up, I go across the bedroom, because on the other side of the bedroom, I have my phone charging. I pick up the phone, open Nozbe app, morning routine task, and start checking off things. So I have to go to the toilet, I have to wait myself, I have to brush my teeth, shave, write something in the journal, prepare and drink lemon water, and then start a little small exercise routine, then pray and prepare some tea. And then I can wake up my children. So like, I have this routine. And the best part is that right now I don't need the checklist anymore, because I'm doing right now it no problem. But during the year, I needed the checklist, because the checklist was always there. I knew what I had to do. I didn't forget anything. And I created my habit of a morning routine. And also at the end of, another trick is that at the end of the morning routine, once I have finished it, I could check off this task. Morning routine done. I had my first task of the day done. Again, it gave me this sense of completion, sense of getting something done, sense of being on top of things. I barely woke up, but I already got something done. So together, like all these, this is psychology, pure psychology, but it just works. It sets me up for success. It sets me up that the day starts the way I want. And of course, your morning routine has to be relevant to you, to what you can do. Like, some people can have a 2-hour morning routine. Some people can have only a 15-minute morning routine, or a 5-minute morning routine. But the idea is that you have your routine that happens your way. This is like the key. And even for me, like, I have small kids. I have a 1.5-year-old, and I have two other bigger daughters. And with them, it's chaos sometimes in the mornings. But if I can have my morning routine, at least for me, at least halfway done, I'm already set up for success. It's just easier. So that would be my first piece of advice. Set up a morning routine and do it quickly, like this in Nozbe. Just one task, a comment with a checklist, and then just follow the checklist. And of course, tweak it as you go. So as you start implementing the morning routine every morning, you will see that, for example, this you shouldn't be doing, or this is just takes too long, or this should be done later. Like, you will observe yourself. And this way you can just edit the checklist, remove something from the checklist, and or tweak it, or move something higher, move something lower. This way you can adapt it to yourself. And this is the key, like, to make the morning yours. Like, the morning should happen on your terms, not on anyone else's terms. If you do it, just this habit, if you get this habit done with this small task in Nozbe, with this small really tip, I guarantee you will have a better year. Like, with that, I can tell you it works. But if you're so far, I challenge you to go one step ahead and do something more. So create another routine, an end of day ritual. End of day ritual is something extra, something that happens at the end of the day. And also, it works brilliantly. The idea being that if you have this ritual for the end of the day, you are just more calmer, you sleep better. And the best part is that you are prepared for the next day. So what I do, for example, I take the last look at my priorities in Nozbe. I check some comments in Nozbe comments in projects that I share with the team to see what's up. I write something in my diary, and then I plan three most important tasks for tomorrow. And something which is not on the checklist, I also prepare clothes for my daughters and for myself. So this way, I'm going to sleep knowing the three most important tasks and the one immediate task I have to do once I wake up. So I know what I have to do tomorrow. So tomorrow when I wake up, I have my morning routine and then I know what to do. There is no, searching for things to do. I know exactly what I want to do. And also, I wake up in the morning, I have my clothes ready. So I just, put on the clothes and it's just like there are no extra decisions in the morning, thanks to the fact that I have prepared the morning in the evening. So again, this is very, very cool. I've been using this for the last more than a year, but last year I just managed to really nail down the implementation of this, and it works. In Nozbe, all you have to do is just create a task, schedule it for today at 10 for example, p.m., like just before you go to sleep, depending when you go to sleep. I go to sleep after 10 p.m. And then also make it as a repeating task every day. This way, every day, this task shows up on your priority list, and you can actually remove it from the priority list, like unstar it, because it will come back before 10 p.m. Like half an hour before 10 p.m., it will come back, and you will get a notification, and you will be able to just follow the checklist, mark it as done, make it your last task for the day, and just have a good night's sleep. So first piece of advice, morning routine. Second, end of day ritual. And now the third habit that I encourage you to have. We've been kind of known for a while on the internet for our TGIF policy. TGIF, thank goodness it's Friday, or thank God it's Friday. What it means is that we have Friday, our Fridays are different in our company. On Fridays, everybody in the company has to do their weekly review. And after that, they design the day. They can learn something new. They can, study something. They can study some new technology. They can watch a conference online, or do whatever they want, or have a meeting with each other about something. Like they can do whatever they want. The Friday is on their terms, but they have to do one most important thing: weekly review. And this Friday weekly review is very important because after the whole week of working, on Friday, we can, look back, review the week, and then plan the week for next week. Like be ready for next week. So this way, again, the same thing that works like in the evening for the morning, on Friday, so at the evening of the week, you prepare everything. And then on Monday, when you show up, you are not singing the famous song, Tell Me Why I Don't Like Mondays. What you're doing is you know what to do. You have already planned the week. So you're ready to take the week head on Monday. You just show up at work and you know what to do. And so the weekly review is crucial. And how to do it? It's pretty simple. I mean, there are, again, steps to follow. I have created a special template for that, which I use myself. I literally have this template in my Nozbe account. I create a new project for each Friday, and then I follow the template. And once the Friday weekly review is done, I mark this project as completed. So I encourage you to do the same. And you can find the template at the same website, nozbe.com/now, where you can also find the offer. So just below the offer, you will be able to find the link to this template. The template is completely free. Everybody can use it. You can even send it to your friends. Even if they don't have a Nozbe account, they can follow this template for a weekly review. So if you think that somebody might want to try a weekly review, I think this template works. And for you as a Nozbe user, it's really easy. You just can import the template to your Nozbe account and tweak it. You can change it. I mean, feel free. I just publish it for you, and you can tweak it, change the different checklists, different tasks, tweak it the way you want it. Just like you do with your morning routine and your evening routine, the same you can do with your weekly review. So make sure to check it out. Make sure to get the template. Again, it's for free. Use it, and you'll have a better Friday and a better Monday because of that. All right. So now that we have covered the 3 habits that I think you should nail down in 2018, I mean, you should really focus on these 3 habits, and these 3 habits will make a major difference in your life. Let's go one step ahead of this and focus now on the goals, on the big things, on things that you want to achieve this year, on the big stuff. So before you do, I want to share a story with you. So all the people who went to last year's webinar that we had, you might remember that I had a goal for 2017 to run in 4 triathlons and triathlon races. I do Olympic distance triathlons. It's 1.5 kilometer swim, then followed by 40 kilometer bike ride and 10 kilometer run. And I love this. It's a very nice race. I really enjoy it. I'm happy that I can do it. It's lots of fun. But what did I do? I mean, what kind of habits or routines? What did I do to make sure that I could get this done? So first of all, I started going regularly swimming. Started swimming every Monday and every Friday. So I set up a recurring task in Nozbe, and every Monday and every Friday I would go swimming. Second, I decided to improve my running, and again, from Nozbe.how, I imported a plan, a whole training plan, how to run 10K below 45 minutes. So I imported that to my Nozbe account, tweaked it, and added it as my own project. And even, I went one step more. I invited to this project Marcin, who is here with us on this webinar. He is our triathlete as well at Nozbe, and I wanted him to be my accountability partner, to make sure that he can watch me complete my tasks, complete my training sessions, that I can ask him things, because up until then, I've never done a proper training when running. I was just going out running. That's it. That's how most of us are doing, right? But this time I had, proper running. I had to run with to watch my pulse when I'm running. I had to have different kind of sessions. So strides, uphill runs, these kind of things. So I wanted to make sure that, he can follow me and he can let me know if I'm doing everything right. So I did that. And now with all that, how did I go? How did I accomplish my goal? No, I didn't. So if I have just done 2 races instead of 4. If I haven't done that, why am I smiling on this photo? I'm smiling on this photo because even though I haven't managed to do 4 races because of also scheduling conflicts and other things, the 2 that I've done were the best of my life. The race in May was my first perfect race, a race when everything worked. When I loved the way I swam, I loved the way I was riding the bike, and I loved the running part. It was just pure fun. And then the one in October, I made my personal best. So it was even better. And here is my friend, Nick. And Nick happens to be my triathlon partner. And he happens to be much older than me, but still, he has got it. And he always was winning. He was always ahead of me, like 10 minutes ahead of me or more on every triathlon. And when I had my personal best this past October, I was just 2.5 minutes behind him on the finish line, which was very motivating and very reassuring. So really, I managed to beat my personal best by, I think, 7 minutes or something like that. So very, very good achievement. So my goal for 2018 is not to do X number of triathlons, but to beat Nick. That's it. I am planning to do 2 or 3 races, but my goal is to beat Nick. And to beat Nick, I have to also be prepared and have to plan this goal accordingly. And how I'm going to do it, I'm going to let you know. And hopefully, with this example, you will be inspired to follow the same routine to prepare a goal. So let's go through it. First of all, I know you might know the SMARTER acronym, or the SMARTER acronym for goals. So that every goal has to be specific. So specific, I have to beat Nick on a triathlon race. Okay, we know that. Measurable, well, it's very easy to measure. If I beat Nick, I win. The goal is done. Actionable, so I have to have a step-by-step plan, or stages to go through, and we'll get to it in just a second. The goal has to be risky but realistic. So as you can see, we are 2.5 minutes, which seems very realistic. But on the other hand, Nick is still training and he's really in great shape. So it is quite risky because I'm not training as much as he does. He has more free time. I don't. I'm the CEO of Nozbe, so I still have to work a lot, and I want to work a lot. So I cannot train as much. But I think still I can beat him if I train the right way, and we'll get to it in a second. Last year, if you remember, I managed to reduce the difference between Nick and me by almost 10 minutes. So if I can go the extra mile, let's see. Time bound, again, it's for this year, so it's very specific and exciting. It is very exciting. I love doing sports, and I love doing triathlons, and it's going to be exciting to be racing with Nick. And we are both very competitive. He is very competitive. Let's see how this goes. And relevant, again, the goal has to be relevant. I know I can dedicate some time to training. I know that I have some limits. I cannot, go out on a bike ride for 3 hours on a weekday. No, I work on the weekday, and I have my family of 3. So I have to know when I can dedicate time to training. So it has to be relevant to you, at the goal that you specify. All right, so this is my plan. This is my plan how to beat Nick. Let's go through it. It's a special project I did in Nozbe. So in Nozbe, apart from day-to-day projects, you can create projects and make them goals. And this is what I did in my Nozbe account. So let's start with the name. The name is 01 Triathlon Nick. So this 01 is for my first goal, and it's Triathlon Nick is to beat Nick. And now the second part, which is very important, the whole goal described plus the motivations behind it. And this concept of motivations for the goal, I got this concept from Michael Hyatt and his course, 5 years to your best year ever. I think it's brilliant, because in Nozbe, what you can do is you can put a description of the project. And in this description, as you can see, I write explanation, participate in a few races, 2 to 3 this year to beat Nick. So this is the gist of it, the goal. And then why? Because I want to be in the best shape of my life. Because I want to swim even faster and enjoy it more. Because I want to learn to run faster and see where my limits are. Because I want the motivation to be moving my body every single day. I want to be able to force myself to get out of home office and enjoy the weather and nature. Because I love my job. I love doing that. I love doing the webinars with you guys. I love teaching productivity. I love working on Nozbe, on our product, developing the new features, the new things, how we can improve. I love that. But then again, I want to be forced to go out and go for a run, go for a bike ride, go for a swim. Okay, so these are the motivations, the goal, and now the action plan. So first part are really the actions. So here I have exercise, regular swimming on Mondays and Thursdays. Then I have another exercise, regular running on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and regular bike ride on Wednesday, and maybe weekend if possible. Very often on weekends, of course, I'm busy with my family, so I cannot go out for a bike ride, but sometimes I am allowed to go, so I go. All right, so these are the actions. But then again, I have another task just below it. I have to set up the training plan again, like I did last year. I want to set up the training plan again with Marcin. We already talked about it. And then I have the stages of this goal. So first stage will be to participate in a triathlon in April. And in this task, I will put in the comment, I will put, how the triathlon went. And once it's done, I'm going to have it as done. Then another triathlon in June and in October. And if I'm feeling like it and I want a bonus, I can even run a half marathon in November, because there is a race that I always wanted to participate, but I never did. So maybe this year I will finally do it. So this is how I see the goal. As you can see, there is the part with the actions, there is the part with like one action that has to be done pretty quickly, and there is the stages of each of this goal. So this is how I approach it, and this is how it works for me, and I can have it in Nozbe. So and also the trick here is that it's 0, 1. 0, 1, it means that when I have projects sorted alphabetically, because it's 0, 1, I see my goals right on the top of all my projects. This way, when I'm working, I'm being reminded of my goals, and especially in the morning, which is, again, it's important for my morning routine, that in the morning I'm reminded of my goals, of what I want to achieve in the long term, so that my actions today inspire forward motion for this to happen. And additionally, what I also do, I use labels in Nozbe, project labels, and I give special label goals to each of my goals. This way, when I do my weekly review on Fridays, and one of the first steps of my weekly review is to review your goals. So when I have to review my goals, I filter all my projects by label goals, and then I see only my goals on the project list. And then I go through each of the goals. I go through to one goal, I see the actions, and I read the motivation again. So I read the description and the motivation again to make sure that it's still relevant, that I don't catch myself trying to accomplish a goal that I set out in January, but in November is no longer relevant, or it's already been done. So that's why this review process every Friday is so important. That every Friday I get to review my projects and my goals and the motivation behind them. All right. Apart from that, I use additional feature. As you can see, I have here regular exercise, regular swimming, Mondays and Thursdays. And this additional feature that we have in Nozbe already is that you can have this custom repeating pattern. So for example, instead of doing every day, every weekday or whatever, what you do is every week on Monday and Thursday. So I can do that. And this way I have the pattern ready. So every Monday and Thursday, I will have this task in my priority, and I will know that today my priority is to go for a swim, go for a run, and etc. Okay, so with all that, we know the 3 habits that I believe will be really meaningful for you, and also how to set goals. So how to set goals personally for yourself. So how to become a better version of you. Forget about resolutions. Plan goals. Focus on skills. And again, I've set out goals for the triathlon last year. It didn't work out pretty well, but I got to a better shape. So now this year, I can become even a better version of myself, a better triathlete. So this is really important. So the skills I acquired last year are going to be just as relevant, if not more, this year. That's why skills are so important. Once you get the skills ready, it's just easier to get anything done. Cheat and use Nozbe.how or other sources of information, YouTube videos, blog posts. But in Nozbe.how, the templates that we share and that our Nozbe users share, the cool thing is that they are free and they can be imported to your Nozbe account, and you can tweak them. Just like the template that I shared with you with Weekly Review. You can import it to your Nozbe account, tweak it to your liking, and follow the process to get the Weekly Review done. So it's really, really easy. Find support. So find somebody, find accountability partner, just like I did here. When I'm training, when I'm running, I'm running with Marcin. I mean, in the same project. So Marcin knows that, how to, he's following me. He's letting me know how everything is going. I'm letting him know if I like the plan and if I can get the plan done. And this way I'm more motivated to actually get it done and to become a better runner. And review every week. Again, this is crucial. This is not just a habit that I think it would be nice of you to have. I think weekly review is critical for everyone. Just every week to review where we were and where we're going. This way, every Monday we start with a plan. So we love spending time with other people. We love if somebody asks us to go out for a coffee. We're like, yeah, let's go for a coffee. So we have time for other people. but we cannot find this time for ourselves, to have a meeting with ourselves, to have this review of the week. And we should have that. We should have this meeting. It should be a meeting. It should be scheduled. It should be on your calendar as a meeting. You have this meeting. It's important. You cannot have any other meeting in this time because it's a meeting with yourself. It's your weekly review. And of course, it would be nice if you would do everything like this in Nozbe. I do it all in Nozbe because it's more convenient for me. And that's why, if you want to try doing it in Nozbe and you still don't have a Nozbe account, or it's going to expire soon, take the offer, 3 months free if you buy a yearly version of Nozbe. Make sure to check it out, nozbe.com/now. It's a very limited offer. We're going to just have it for a few days, and it's going to be done. So make sure to check it out. Make sure to use it, and use the offer to make it your best year ever. And now comes the second part of this webinar. So when you have to choose, when you want to choose your Nozbe account, we've introduced new plans. And this whole thing with new plans is not just the question of revenue or whatever. It's a question also of some users, some people, some of you graduating from just using Nozbe for yourself to using Nozbe with other people. And I think this graduation process is very important. That's why we changed the plans a little bit. There is a plan solo for just one person and duo for 2 people. But then there are plans for small business, 4, 6, 8 people. So for very small teams. And then for business plans for bigger teams up until unlimited teams. Why we are doing that? Because we've realized that people are graduating. You first, get hang of your own stuff, and then what you do, you start, working with somebody. So you have a duo plan with somebody, and then you start thinking maybe I should start with more people. And especially with, as you can see, with priced so that the plan, the small business plan is not much more expensive than the solo plan. So this way, it's really easy to introduce more people to Nozbe. That's why we introduce these plans, and they are very successful right now. Lots of people are signing up for the small business plan right now because they realize that together they can achieve more. And about that and how to set goals together, it's the whole second part of this webinar. I'm going to teach you all about it because this is something I'm totally excited about, because I think when you achieve goals together and when you set goals together and the way you do it, it's really important. We also have a business plan, as mentioned, for bigger teams. And with that plan, we have dedicated training, introduction in Nozbe, and dedicated customer support, dedicated person, account manager. This way, we can help your team, overcome the resistance of introducing new tool to your team and helping everyone jump on board with Nozbe. Because, this graduation process went like this for me as well. I started Nozbe alone. And you can see here my old Nozbe logo. If anyone of you remembers the old Nozbe logo, let me know in chat. It's been years, but this was our old Nozbe logo. You can see it on my T-shirt. But then after a while, I had we were three musketeers. There was Tomasz, the CTO, and Delfina, the customer support rep, and me. And after that, we grew more, and now we are quite a big team. And the same happens in our users. I mean, I love seeing that. I love seeing our users graduate, like from just getting themselves organized to being organized with other people. And that's why Nozbe also has this advantage over like personal task managers, like OmniFocus things or other things, because we can share projects together. We can work together. For example, here's Piotr Rubik. He's a very famous composer in Poland. And he's a productivity freak, and he was using Nozbe on his own. Then later with just a few people that he was working with closely, and now he's using Nozbe with his whole orchestra because he's doing concerts all over the world. And to get it all done, he's using Nozbe. So it's amazing how people graduate. So with all that, it's time to give you a sneak peek how you can prepare goals together, and why you should, and why it makes perfect sense to plan goals, not just for yourself, but for your whole team, and plan them together with other people. So here's an example, a goal that we've achieved actually. The nozbe.com website is right now, has been relaunched. It's a little bit different, it's a little bit new. I mean, behind the scenes, it's completely new. On the outside, it's not still that new. We'll have another refresh soon. But for now, it's a little bit different already. And the cool thing about it, again, how this project went down. So let me give you a recap. First of all, again, I set up a nice goal, new website of Nozbe.com, and 02 is because it's goal number 2. Let's say Nozbe.com website, and then in the description of this, I write what is this? Change Nozbe.com site to a completely new system and design. Okay, this is the description of the goal. It's clear, everybody knows what it's all about. But then the motivations come in. Why? For the pages to load faster, to better support all of the languages we offer, because we have Nozbe in 10 languages, including two of the versions of the Chinese, to better edit the page in a collaborative environment, and to try to boost sales in the process, of course. So these are the motivations why we want to change the website. So there you go. And again, the action plan, or before the action plan, there's another step, exactly. Then another step is I have to introduce some other people to this project. So I shared this project with 5 people here, with Tom, with Radek, with Magda, with Kuba, with Marcin, and together we are creating this common goal. And now, this common goal, again, just like similar to my triathlon goal, has several stages. First stage is prepare the technology stack behind Nozbe.com site. And our CTO, Tomasz, is responsible for that. Then improve design and refresh the look and feel of the site. Radek is doing that. Then create schedule for next year's blog posts. And Magda is doing this great. You have seen her blog posts and read her blog posts on nozbe.com/blog. So you know she's a great writer. And then Kuba, improve social media support, especially Facebook and Twitter. And then Marcin, set up new landing pages. Start with the webinar. So this new landing page for the webinar was completely written from scratch, and Marcin was on top of it together with our designer Radek. And for me, there is a task as well: study and analyze the new navigation of the website. So as you can see, the goal to create a new website is being broken down into steps, into stages, right? And here on one glance, you can see, I can see, and you can see who is responsible for which stage. So it's really, really easy to see. It's very transparent. It's very easy. Like for everyone else, it's the same. I mean, if Tomasz joins the project, he knows exactly who's responsible for what. So this gives us a common ground. Like we know what's up with this goal. And then every week we can post updates here. So I'm sure that, for example, Radek, for his design thing, he has his own design project for that, which is not here. But this task, which is not just a task, it's a stage, and he will update it once it's done. So, for example, here Tomasz is preparing the technology stack, and I can ask him a question. Tomasz, please tell me if the latest version of Hugo, which we use, meets our needs, and then he can reply to me here, and we can continue our conversation. So this way, the goal is pretty transparent. It's here. We know who's responsible for what. We know what needs to be done. It's very obvious. So it works very similarly to the personal goals, but now these goals are being done together in a team. And why am I so excited about it? Because I know it works. We've been tweaking with this for years now in Nozbe, and we know it works. We manage the whole company with our software, so we know it not only works as a task manager, but also as a company manager practically. And third, which is like a personal thing, I hate it that businesses still manage projects via email. When I see somebody, sending emails to their colleague and then asking about attachments and, what's up and whatever, asking for updates over email, I cringe because I know there's a better way. Like we are in 2018 now. 2018 is like the second decade of 2000 is almost done. We have amazing, we have amazing iPhones, we have amazing watches, we have tablets, we have everything. We should be using the latest software. We shouldn't be using email, and especially email, because with email, the problem is that if you send emails to your colleagues, it gets mixed with all the emails from the rest of the people that are sending emails your way, and also with offers, with newsletters, with webinar invites. So with everything. So you see everything there, and so it's really hard. You have to really juggle and find the crucial information, the important information, which is really hard. And that's why, and then the other thing, in many emails, people just write several things. So this way you have to think, okay, this belongs to this thing, but then he's referring to the other thing. Instead of having separate tasks and separate comment threads in each task where you can actually exchange information. So it's a lot better. It's just definitely better. And then another thing, attachments. How many times you have forgotten the attachments, or you have sent the wrong attachment to the wrong person, or it wasn't the latest attachment, but you wanted the latest and you couldn't find it. When you have a task and a comment, you can attach a file as a comment. This way you know what's the latest file, what's the latest version. It's easy. There's no explanation necessary. There's no searching necessary. You know where it is, you know where it belongs. It's just easier. So that's why not only because we in our company, we all work from home, so we have to use technology. We use technology because we love it. And we use technology, we use Nozbe, we use Slack, we use Zoom for video conferencing. We use the modern technologies because we are a modern company. And I think you should be too. I think you should be also switching to being a modern company. And that's why I'm on a mission here, and we are on a mission here to teach people productivity, team productivity with the latest tools, and not using email, because it really doesn't work. It doesn't scale, and it's just annoying, and there's just too much management involved. So if you want to try, like for example, a small business or business version of Nozbe to manage your team in Nozbe, there is a concern, like what happens when you invite somebody to the team, and will they know everything? I mean, will they have access to all the projects? Because of course it's a concern. You don't want everyone to know everything, especially you want to make sure that the privacy is there. So let me give you an example. If you have a team and there is like the U1 and U2, two users are on the team, and there is the U3 who's not on the team. As you can see, each of these users have their own projects, and they don't see each other's projects. The U1 only sees P1, P2, P3, P4, and the U2, P5, P6, P7, P8. So the one user sees their project and the other one sees their projects. They only see the project together when they share it, when they really explicitly invite somebody. Just like I did with this goal of a new Nozbe.com website. I have created this goal until I have, invited my colleagues. They wouldn't be able to see it. And it's the same thing. You have to invite explicitly to a project. Even if you invite somebody to the team and don't share anything with them, they will not be able to access your project. You will have to explicitly invite them to these projects, and this way they will be able to access them. So this way you can slowly keep inviting people first to your team, and then start inviting them to your projects. Or the other way around. First you start inviting them to your projects, and then you invite them to the team to have them along. What they will see is that who is else on the team. They will know that, and they will be able to also invite you to their projects. So this is what they will know when they're on the same team. And again, this is really, this takes some adjustments because people are inclined to use email more, but it works. I've seen it work. I've talked to many customers, and again, I've seen them graduate from just using Nozbe for themselves to using Nozbe with a team and getting goals done together with a team. And it's again, just like with these routines that I told you about in the very beginning of this webinar, it all starts with one project. So you just invite everyone to one project and start using Nozbe within one project with them, and seeing updates there, and you communicating through tasks there. And when you start using that, you will realize how superior it is to email, how more transparent it is, how clarifying it is. Like it just gives you more clarity. It just gives you more better perspective on what you have to do. And in Nozbe version 3.7, which is coming very, very soon, we have added mentions. So as you have seen in the comment, I've written @Tomasz, please tell me if the latest version of something. Now, if you do you will have a suggestion box. You can mention people who are in this project. So this way you can really mention people very quickly, and make sure that when you do, they receive a push notification that they've been mentioned in a task, so they can jump in and respond to your mention. An additional feature that only in the team is visible, so only when you share projects is visible, is the comments section. Like below inbox, projects, categories, calendar, below the priority, there is comments. And in the comments, you can see all the comments being made in all the shared projects that you share with other people. This way you can really quickly review what's happening in different projects in Nozbe. So it's very, very easy to see You see what's up. You can, add your input, add your comment. This way, you don't have to go through each project to make sure that you know what's happening in each of these, and to make sure that who's working on what. And this is how we work in Nozbe, and this is how we really advise you to give it a try. So again, let's recap the whole webinar. How to set goals for 2018. Focus on habits and skills. Again, skills are gifts that keep on giving. So once you've learned the skill, it just works. Just like for me, the morning routine. I don't need the task anymore. I don't need the checklist anymore for my morning routine. It already works. I know exactly every morning what I should do. It's so easy. And the same goes for my evening routine, for my end of the day routine. I know exactly. It's very easy. Once the skill is there, once the habit is there, it's easy. The same goes with my swimming and now with my running. It's easier. So that's why I think what you should focus on are habits and skills. And the same goes for weekly review. The first weekly review is very hard, but once you get the hang of it and every Friday do a review, it's going to get easier. Download from Nozbe.how. So download ready templates from Nozbe.how. Cheat. Take them. They are yours to have. I have packing lists there. I have packing lists for my travel. I have packing lists for my triathlon races. Lots of pieces of advice. I mean, things to see in many cities. Like, there's so much knowledge there, and all you have to do is just with one click, import it to your Nozbe account, use it yourself as your project, tweak it, use it, save it as your own template. You name it. It's all up to you. Plan goals for yourself, and don't forget about motivations. Don't forget to write out the motivations, why you want to do it, why I want to do the triathlons, why I want to redesign Nozbe website, why I want to do all these things. The why, the motivations are really important. And every Friday, you should review your motivations for each goal to make sure that they are still aligned with you, that you still want to get them done. And then plan goals for your team. Just as I told you, together, jointly plan goals. This way, you'll make goals happen. And if you can, try to stop using email to collaborate. Try to stop using. Try to, email is great to write for writing messages, but it doesn't work, for project management. There are better tools like Nozbe or other tools that make it just easier to use. So just imagine, that thanks to the morning routine, you are more effective every day. Like, every day is just perfect. Every day starts well. Whatever happens. But you start a day well, and you already have a different attitude when the morning comes. So with the morning routine, imagine it can be better. So this way, the whole 2018 can be better for you. Then second thing, well-defined goals will make this year your best ever. Like, if you plan to build something, plan it, plan the stages, build it, do it, ship it. So this way, with well-defined goals, just like I told you in this webinar, it's gonna just get easier. And then imagine that your team gets projects done faster by communicating through tasks and not email. I'm telling you, this works. We've tried it. Our customers are using it. We know it works. I think many of you here who are listening to this webinar, are nodding their heads because you've been there. You've tried using Nozbe, and it works. And once you start using tools like Nozbe to collaborate, modern tools of 2018, instead of using email, it just works better. If you use, for example, Google Docs to share a doc and start, writing something collaboratively, it works better than sending Word documents around. There are tools that we have in 2018 that we should take advantage of. Not only Nozbe, there are other modern tools that we should be, using to get stuff better. And then imagine the situation when your team has less stress thanks to shared goals and regular reviews. I mean, imagine that thanks to building, this structure, building goals together, we are looking at the same thing. We are, everyone with their expertise are building blocks for a great goal. This is what we can do in teams. And remember about our limited time offer, nozbe.com/now. Now is your time to extend your Nozbe account, and maybe to try to graduate from a solo, duo user to a small business or business user, and try to introduce Nozbe in your team. This might be the moment. And let's do it together. Like, every day we're so happy that we get. I mean, Michael Hyatt, I think, had this in one of the podcasts, that instead of, I don't have to work, I get to work. And really, I feel like I get to be doing that. I get to be doing, to be designing Nozbe. I get to be serving you. I get to be giving you this webinar, because it's just amazing. I mean, just look at these comments. I mean, Nozbe is a lifesaver for me. Brilliant product. Did I tell you guys how much I love Nozbe? I know I did, but I'm telling you again. Like, this is like this. I'm telling you, it's 11 years. It's been almost 11 years running Nozbe, and these comments always make my day, every time. Nozbe, I just have to say that I've tried so many task management apps that I absolutely love Nozbe. Phenomenal. Thanks. Or thanks to Michael Hyatt for the recommendation to use Nozbe. It has been instrumental in helping to get, helping me to get my stuff done. Okay, here was something else, but I'm not going to write it, say it out loud. But again, I would like to say to Michael Hyatt, big thanks, because in his last book, Best Year Ever, which is, I think, right now an Amazon bestseller, he, as the bonus, he gives a habit planning video series. And in the third video, when he's talking about his behind the scenes plan, structure, how he's structuring his goals, he's just giving you a guide through Nozbe, because he's using Nozbe for his goals. It's amazing. And he's doing a very similar thing that I showed you today, with the motivations, with the project description, with the stages of each goal. He's doing a very similar thing. I have a lot to thank him. Michael Hyatt is the best. When you start, you can't stop. I'm already Nozbeholic. I'm not sure I'm okay with that, Nozbeholic. I don't want you to be Nozbeholic. I want you to be to be the better version of yourself, and use Nozbe for that, but don't overdose it, okay? And to you and all the Nozbe team, thank you for Nozbe, which has finally, after many false starts, enabled me to use GTD and get control back from chaos. Happy New Year to you all, and Happy New Year to everyone here. Wow, amazing. Well, anyway, I encourage you to try these plans, try the new plans of Nozbe, and try this new offer, nozbe.com/now. You will get 3 months extra if you order for a year. So this is really a great deal. You save lots of money on that. And of course, we always give you the money back guarantee, because we only want happy customers. We've been doing this for the last almost 11 years. We don't want to stop. We want to be running Nozbe as long as we can. And we're not planning. We are privately funded, no VC. We're not planning to sell it anywhere else. This is our vocation. This is our mission. This is our stuff that we're doing, and we love doing that. So, and if somebody is not, doesn't like Nozbe, it's fine. We'll give you money back. No harm. No foul. No problem. Really. We want only the happy customers, because I know that sometimes task and management application can be a personal preference. So we have the guarantee to make sure that we serve you the best. Okay, so we're at the end of the webinar. Let's get some questions. I can't wait to answer your questions. I hope it was useful for you, and then hope you'll get your goals done in 2018. I'm all for that.
All right, so let's go straight into the questions. And the first question is by Keto. New website nozbe.com sounds more like a normal project than a goal. How do you differentiate? So how do you differentiate goals from normal projects?
Yeah. There is always a fine line. It's never like. I was thinking about it a lot on Monday when I was finishing up the presentation. I was like which of the things are really projects and which of the things are really goals, and which of the things are really wishful thinking. I want to be rich. This is like wishful thinking, right? But then I want to achieve X amount of revenue by this and this. It might be a goal, but then again, getting this revenue might be just a project, right? So Nozbe.com website can be just a project if it's a small thing. Like if it just, I think, depends on the size of it. But for us, it was a big endeavor, because we've been using the website that we had before for a long time, and there are lots of components there, lots of things. And for me, launching the website by the end of the year was a goal, because I wanted the new website by the end of the year. So there was the whole aspect of also time bound. I haven't written it there in this example, but it was like that. Our goal was to launch it by the end of the year, and And as you have seen, I mean, I just gave you just a few examples, but it was more complicated than that. We had many stakeholders, many people who were involved in this project. So for me, their projects were part of this goal. So for example, for Tomasz, who was the CTO, for him, the project was to get the technology right, to study technology, to get the technology right. That was the project. Another project was to really redesign the website, the design, so the looks of the website, the look and feel. There was another project by Radek, by our designer. Another project was to see how we can work together on preparing a new schedule for the blog post. And so all these things were projects, but the goal was to unite them together into this goal of launching new Nozbe.com. So for me, I would say like for me, the difference would be the size of it, and the ambition of it. It was an ambitious thing. You could say perfectly it was an ambitious project, but for me, it was a goal. I wanted to have this website by this time, and it was my goal. It was our company's goal, and all these projects that were part of it. Were part of it. So for example, if you say like I want to increase revenue by 30% by the end of this year, it's a goal, right? It might be just wishful thinking. That might be just a goal. But if it's a goal, then what are the projects that lead you there? What are the projects? But for example, I started thinking that maybe we are sometimes not achieving our goals because we are taking too grandiose goals. Like for example, this revenue thing. This revenue thing is very abstract. So maybe I should make a smaller goal. Like for example, prepare new onboarding process for the customers by the end of April. It sounds like a project, but Natalia very well. It sounds like a goal that there are so many parts of the onboarding process. The emails, the sequential, all these things. What people see when they log into Nozbe, all these things. So many projects together and for us the goal is to create new onboarding process. But again, some people can say onboarding process is part of the fact that I want to have more revenue. So maybe it's part of the goal of the grant revenue. But when I was studying goals and studying also Michael Hyatt's course for the goals, he made me realize that sometimes we are just trying to have big grandiose goals and lots of sub goals, right? And then projects below them. So we get confused and we get sidetracked. So for me, for example, I would, instead of having this goal of having more revenue by the end of the year, would be to have a goal with you, because we're doing right now the onboarding process actually, so it's very relevant. Like have a goal, for example, the goal would be to finish up the first version of the onboarding process, of the new onboarding process, for example, by the end of March, right? And this is something that we can grasp, if something that we can control more, right? So it's smaller. Again, somebody can name it a project, but for us, naming it as a goal, I think makes it, it makes it more tangible, more, it makes it more serious. It makes it more, it makes us more focused. So I think that's the idea, that it makes us more focused on the outcome, because we are more likely to finish that than to at some point have this revenue increase. We don't know that. There are lots of things about the revenue that are just completely out of our control. We don't know how many people will take up on this offer. So it's, we can, estimate or whatever, but we don't know. But what we know, what we can do, we can create a better onboarding process to have to introduce Nozbe to people in a better way. And that might help us with the revenue. But again, I think we are just having too lofty goals. And I think this is like kind of that's why the question is very good. I think too lofty goals make the goals, not happen. But if you create smaller goals, more tangible goals, which can sound like projects, I think they are easier to be done, to be achieved. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, coming back to the question, I think that sometimes it doesn't really matter if if we differentiate goals from
Right.
projects or anything, like why would you want to like think about it? Sometimes it just doesn't matter. You just have different projects or you have different goals, and some goals, maybe even tasks, like they can be really simple and really small, but it's just something that you want to accomplish. And just the fact that your goal is a project means that it takes a few steps to achieve. So that may be like another way of explaining that. But to me, like, I think that maybe it just doesn't matter if
but it's also, I think, the importance to you, like how important is this to you,
exactly.
right? If it's something important, it's a goal. If it's something like, I don't know, less important, or like more day-to-day kind of thing, then it's a project, right? And for us, for example, having this new onboarding process, which we're working on right now, is a big milestone. It's really important for us. So that's why I would name it a goal, not a project, just a project, But again, as I said, the definition depends on us, and depends how much importance we give it. And
All right. Okay. So let's move on to another question, and let's take a question from Mary. Must my collaborators be Nozbe subscribers? So do you have to be a Nozbe user to collaborate in projects?
So yes and no. For example, you can share project with anyone with an email address. So when you do that, they will receive a link, a unique link to the project, and they'll be able to access it via the website. This way, they don't have to have a Nozbe account. They can just use it like that, like with this unique link. They can bookmark the link and just use it. This way, for example, you can work with external people. I mean, we've done that because we want to enable people like yourself, like Nozbe users, to work with other people without them having to set up anything, but with you having everything in Nozbe. So for example, you don't have to send them an email. When they send you an email back, you have to import it to your Nozbe account. No, you can share a project with them, invite them with their email address, and tell them, you work in Nozbe on this website. You don't have to sign up for anything. You just follow the steps there and the projects and this project. Excuse me, the tasks and everything else. So you don't need to have a Nozbe account. It might be convenient for them because they might want to have the native app to the Mac or the iPhone app to be using, but then they can have a free account. Up to 5 projects they can have a free account. But of course, with your collaborators that you work every day on several projects, yes, it's better that they have an Nozbe account, because then they will just completely be lost in those links. We've created this option to share a project with anyone, to make sure that you can work with people who are reluctant to open a Nozbe account. But if you work with somebody on a regular basis on several projects, then yes, they should have a Nozbe account actually.
Yeah, it's more practical if you have a Nozbe account, because then you just have all your projects in one place and you have all the features that Nozbe offers. Whereas where you get the link to a project, you can only access the project, so you don't have like additional features.
Yeah, but another thing that take into account, try it for 30 days. With somebody, you will work so much more efficiently that the cost of Nozbe, for them, like $10 or $5 or whatever they will pay, is nothing. Really, it's like compared to how much time you will save instead of sending emails and losing attachments and things, and it's just Nozbe is cheap when you compare to all that, to your time, how much time your time is worth, or your collaborators' time. Like in every company's history, like in my company, the biggest cost of the company are salaries. Natalia, you're expensive. But that's true. Until you have to hire somebody, if you can work with tools, they're cheap compared to a salary of a person, and then the burden of having the person on paycheck. This is the whole thing. So I encourage you to think that way, because really using email and everything, there is so much administrative stuff, so much administrative, additional overhead of time lost, minutes lost every day, but minutes together with other minutes, compound into hours and then days lost of productivity. Like, why would you do that? For me, especially about the triathlons, like, I have to find time to train for a triathlon. I have to find time to work in Nozbe, and I have to find time for my family. So for me, really, every minute is precious. I don't want to waste time on administrative, stuff. I want to, me. I want to give as much value as I can, like as much as I can, and this way we can provide as much value as we can. So I think this is when you can provide as much value as you can. So like, this is the clue, because then after work you want to have time, you have to quality time for your, for your loved ones, right? So this is really important. Like, we should really value our time more. This is another thing that, if we really valued our time, we could charge for Nozbe a lot more, but people don't. So, but it's fine, because we have so many users that it's fine that our business is sustainable with these prices. But it's really important that we take an advantage. Like, how much we easily spend $5 on a coffee or something, but on a month of productivity, of improved productivity, hours saved, it's a key.
And by the way, I think it's worth mentioning that now our pricing is like even better for people in small teams, because the prices like get lower per user the more people you have on your team. So it's also just like better to invite more people to use Nozbe with you and to work in a bigger team.
That's why we also have made the tiers, so that, for example, 10, 15, 20, because once you've passed 15 and you want the 16th person, you don't want to be thinking, okay, I have to pay for this person now. No, just get them on board. 17th, no problem, hop in. Like, so it's really easy. And then when you have to move to another tier, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that much more money. So it's easy. That's why I strongly encourage you to try. It's fun, and it just saves time.
Okay, and we have a question from Cesar. My business plan ends in April 2018. If I extend now, will it finish 15 months after April 2018? So could you explain a little bit how the promotion works?
Oh, yes, you're correct. I mean, we will, Natalia,
we will add add the months on top of your current subscription.
Exactly.
Yes. So you don't lose any money. You don't lose any months that you've paid for. Everything stays on your account, and everything is just calculated and added on top of your current subscription.
Anyway, I mean, with money and with charging for Nozbe, we are more generous than ever, because whenever there is a thing like this, we prefer to err on the side of the customer. So if you already paid until April, you will have a month, another year, and additional 3 months, so 15 months on top of it. And we will make sure that you will get more than you paid for. So for us, we want to make you happy. So we will not be fighting over a few cents or something. So this is not how we roll. so it's not how we roll. This is not how we've been doing business for the last 11 years, and we are not planning to change that. What's better with these prices than the ones we had before, per each user, is that it's more transparent, and it's easier to see how much you're going to pay. It's easier to budget for the companies. It's just and it's easier for us to calculate and explain why we're charging that, because of that, and because we're adding the months. So it's a lot more it's already complicated, the whole system of charging for usage, but I think we've made it simpler with this change.
Exactly. And the last question about pricing and the offer for now is from Melissa. Can we upgrade if we're already a user and take advantage of the offer today? So if you're already a user and you've paid for your Nozbe, can you take advantage of the offer?
Yeah, I mean, we have we have people having Nozbe subscriptions until 2020. They've had a few offers like that, and they are ready to productive for the next 2 years or 3 years, and it's fine. It's fine for us, it's fine for them. They can they have the tool as long as they want, and we will we've been here in business for 11 years. We are not planning to, as I mentioned, to, we're not funded by VC, so we don't have to sell. We don't want to sell our company, and there's no buyer interested, because who wants a productivity company without any breakthrough or something like that? With just a great normal business model where we just help people get stuff done. So it's a very healthy business, and we love doing that. And what we only can promise is that with each new version of Nozbe, it's going to be just better and better, more modern. As you have seen in the history, whenever there is a new thing, there's an Apple Watch, we have an Apple Watch app. If there is like a new version of iOS or Android, whatever, we already support it. Like we are technology geeks. We love new technologies, so we make sure that we can support the latest and the greatest. And we love doing that. It's also in part of our DNA. It's part of why I love doing that. I love working with Nozbe.
Exactly. All right. Next question from Xaba. I want to visualize my goals in a mind map. How can I import mind map chunks into Nozbe as tasks?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think we have an option right now, do we?
No, not to divide your mind map and import certain tasks, but how can we work around it?
Well, I think one of the options would be to export the mind map into a format which is text based, like for example Markdown or something like that, and then use the email format that we have. So we have this email format, right? So when each task starts with a dot, right? So all you would have to do is export that. Send this to Nozbe, to your unique Nozbe address. And this will convert each of these tasks. So this is how I see it. I think this is the only option I see,
Yeah, for now. Or you can just export the mind map to a PDF and just add it as a comment to a task, and maybe try to work your way and divide it into tasks later. But yeah, for now I think that's the only option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The problem with mind maps, I love mind maps. I'm doing mind map myself. This. Every article or every webinar, this webinar has been outlined in the mind map before it became the slides. So I love it, but the problem is that mind maps have lots of hierarchy. So we have this, and then another node, and then subnode, and subnode, and subnode. So it doesn't really map with what we have in Nozbe, because in Nozbe we only have projects, tasks, and a checklist in a comment to a task. So there is no task, sub tasks. So there's no way to replicate that. But maybe we shouldn't be maybe we should enable you just to import the tasks, just flat out as a flat list. Tsaba, if you can, write us an email how you would want this to work, let us know. Maybe we can figure out a way that might not be ideal, but might just be more useful for you. So let us know. For me, when I do a mind map, I usually do it just to brainstorm, and then later from that, I just pick up a few tasks, but I don't import everything, right? So I don't have that need anymore, that you have. But maybe you do, and if you can give us a good use case, then let us know, and maybe we can work this out. Because this is generally how we implement new features in Nozbe. We, instead of just flat out doing something, we ask why you would want to do that. Again, just like with these goals, we need the motivation, why you want to do that, what you want to achieve, why you want to have this done. And then when we know the why, we can see the how, and we can try different hows. We can try, okay, for you, the obvious how would be that. But let's see, maybe we can do something else which will help achieve your goal anyway, but it will be different and will be maybe more relevant for more users. Because having an app being used by 500,000 people, you have to make sure that you do something that works for most of them, or for the majority of them, right? So that's why we always study each why and see if the how is relevant for majority of users. So if you could send us more info to questions@nozbe.com, how you would want the mind map to be imported, and what would be which kind of mind maps you have, how they would be imported to Nozbe ideally, and how you would want this to work, then maybe we can figure something out.
And yeah, maybe we can find a solution that we already have in Nozbe. Maybe we just can't come up with it right now in this moment. But
Exactly.
if you just send us more details, then I'm sure we can figure something out and yeah, give it a go. All right, guys. So that was the last question for today. So thank you for being here with us tonight and for staying with us until the very end. Thank you for all the great questions. And I hope that this webinar was really inspiring for you and that you have now so many good ideas for your goals for 2018. And Michael, do you want to add anything? Maybe could you do a recap of our new Facebook group before we end the webinar?
Yeah, exactly. So again, we are launching a new Facebook group for Nozbe users. We've never done it before. We've had a Nozbe forum before, but it kind of was clunky to use, and we didn't like it that much, so we closed it. We shut it down like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. So now we decided, let's do the Facebook group thing because it's a thing. We use already Facebook groups, closed Facebook groups for our books, for our book launches. So right now we have a closed Facebook group, and I want to give a shout out to everyone who's in our launch team. Thank you so much. You're doing a great job there, helping me finish out the 10 Steps to Ultimate Productivity book. But now we decided, okay, we had the groups for the book, but let's have a group for an app for Nozbe, for our app, but not only for our app, but also to help each other get things done. Like I would say, in broader sense, we want this group to be a group of modern people using modern tools to get stuff done. One of the modern tools that they use is Nozbe, of course, but we use other modern tools, and we want to share these tools, share our experiences, help each other, modernize the way we were thinking, the ways we are doing things in our companies, in our teams. So this is the idea of the group, and the link to the group is, I think, in the chat, right? So.
Yeah.
So make sure to sign up for the group. I will be there as well, and I will say hi. And we will try to come up with ideas, with helping each other, and with goals. Everything we can to help each other get stuff done this year and make it our best year ever. So it's a new thing for us. We are again, we've never had like this big of a group before, so this is going to be a new thing for us. But we're excited because we want to be closer to you. We want to be closer to you not only via email, because we have brilliant customer support. Whatever you need, questions@nozbe.com. But I think there is a place and there is value in having a group of like-minded people sharing ideas and having us also to step in and give share our expertise and learn from you. Because everything that we know now after 11 years of running Nozbe is we've learned from you, from our users. So it's just it's amazing. I mean, I wouldn't be a man I am right now if it wasn't for Nozbe users. So like I've made this growth because of you. So thank you so much for that. And again, thanks for being here with so many people here. I'm just I was so happy that so many people stayed until the very end. And thank you, and have the best year ever. Have a happy and healthy new year 2018. And here, one of our friends here, Arek, he posted his 3H rule for this 2018, for Nozbe 2018: healthy, happy, humble. And I think it's really cool. Like, I also want to be happy, healthy, and humble. So here's to the new year.
So guys, Happy New Year. We wish you all the best, and we'll see you on our next webinar.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.